of you have seen The Matrix? The movie with the handsome Keanu Reeves and as Neo, with Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. How many of you have seen The Matrix? In The Matrix movie, Morpheus offers Neo a choice of two pills, a blue pill and a red pill. This is how Morpheus explained the choice to Neo. I imagine right now, you are feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole. Let me tell you why you are here. You are here because you know something. What you know, you can't explain, but you feel it. There is something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it is there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I will show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. I kind of felt like Alice in Wonderland tumbling down the rabbit hole when I read Teo So Lang's book, and when I began to find out what happened to those who were arrested in 21st May 1987. But let me tell you what happened exactly 1 year before that. On 22nd May 1986, the Straits Times reported that the Law Society of Singapore was strongly critical of the government for proposing new laws which would curb the freedom of the press. Teo So Lang was head of the Law Society Committee, which prepared the critical press release. The Law Society was concerned that the proposed new laws would restrict freedom of speech. The Law Society's public objections to the proposed laws attracted much attention. But despite the controversies, the proposed new laws were voted through by Parliament and became law in August 1986. After all, there were only 2 opposition MPs out of 79 seats in Parliament. Was the government unhappy with the Law Society for speaking against the proposed new laws? A few months later, in 1986, the government proposed yet another set of new laws, this time aiming at the Law Society. One of the proposed new law was to remove the Law Society's right to offer comments on matters affecting law, unless asked by the government to do so. Again, Teo So Lang headed the committee under the Law Society to review these new laws aimed at lawyers. About 400 lawyers met and passed a resolution for the Law Society to call on the government to withdraw its proposed amendments to the Legal Profession Act. However, despite the strong objections, the proposed laws were voted through by Parliament and became law in October 1986. So a very peculiar situation thereby arose in Singapore. The Law Society is by law not allowed to speak up on law unless invited by the government to do so. This restraint on the Law Society remains to this day. The Law Society cannot speak unless spoken to. Then, in the early hours of 21st May 1987, Teo So Lang was arrested and detained under the ISA. Do you think her arrest was expected or unexpected? For So Lang, it was completely unexpected. She had been watching Miss Universe the night before. Teo So Lang and the other detainees appealed to the court against their ISA detention orders. In the course of dealing with Teo So Lang's appeal, the Court of Appeal declared that all powers has legal limits, and that the rule of law demands that the courts should be able to review the minister's decision to detain anyone under ISA. The minister does not have unlimited discretion. This was wonderful news to the detainees. The detainees would have the court's protection against abuse of the ISA. What happened next? Within 1 month, the government drew up new laws to take away the court's power to review the minister's decision to detain a person under ISA. The proposed new laws would completely reverse the effect of the Court of Appeal's judgment a month ago. These new laws were voted on by Parliament and became law in January 1989. Henceforth, if a minister decides to detain a person under ISA, he has no obligation to explain his decision to any judge. This is the case today. Strange? I think so. The government acted with lightning speed to amend the Constitution and the ISA to cancel the effect of a Court of Appeal judgment. Now, in Singapore, Parliament can enact or amend ordinary law so long as it has the support of more than 50% of elected MPs. As for the Constitution, it cannot be amended unless with the approval of 2/3 of elected MPs. However, throughout the history of Singapore, there has never been more than a handful of opposition MPs. That being the case, it wouldn't be terribly difficult to get the requisite majority needed to amend the Constitution or to change laws. In fact, since independence, there have been some 40 acts of Parliament to amend the Singapore Constitution. Our Constitution has been amended loads of times. Can it be right to constantly amend the Constitution? Or to keep changing laws? What are the limits? We have seen how quickly laws have been proposed and voted through by Parliament. This is because our system is one where the ruling party has at all times held an overwhelming majority of seats in Parliament. I don't think it's just about amending or abolishing the ISA. Ultimately, the ISA is but a tool. As with any tool, we also need to consider he who wields the tool. We need to consider the entire system under which we operate. So, under the present system, how is the use of powers checked and balanced? Who checks and balances powers? Who can we rely on for protection against the unjust use of powers? The courts? Opposition MPs? MNPs? NCMPs? Mr. Brown, perhaps? I know the one who can be our strong protector. The one is in our midst here. The one I speak of is you and me. Citizens, ordinary citizens. Ordinary citizens who are not afraid to speak up when things do not seem right. A strong civil society with an active citizenry is a powerful counterweight against any wrong use of powers. They know the power of our combined voices, which is why much efforts have been made and will continue to be made to control our freedoms. Friends, for too long, we have been afraid and too silent. But let us not be afraid or silent anymore. Let us embrace our whole humanity. We are people who think and feel, and we care. We will speak up against wrongs and injustice. Let us reactivate our minds, quicken our conscience for rights and wrongs, restore our voices, and reclaim our freedoms. Let us bring active citizenry back to its rightful place in our society. Our minds, our heart, our voices in active citizenry, that is our best safeguard against bullying. Let me come back to what Morpheus said to Neo. Here is the blue pill. Here is the red pill. Take the blue pill and forget the hard truths. Remain in oblivion and dream about illusions. Take the red pill. Know the truth. Leave your detention cells and dare to dream about a new future. Do you not want to take control of your lives? Do you not want to shape your own future? You need no longer be slaves to fear. Freedom is at hand. Take the red pill and take your place in society. Thank you.